nothing unexpected. Good to kind of get some clarity around playgrounds and that kind of thing.
Okay. All right, I will call this meeting to order. Attendance at the beginning of the meeting is 100%. Natalie, Ken, and I. Adoption of the agenda, Councilor Mackay.
Sure, I can do that. That the May 21st, 2020 agenda be adopted as presented.
Excellent. Call for the vote. That is unanimous. It's nice to only have to look for 3 hands instead of 7. All right, minutes from May 14th. Any omissions or errors in that?
I didn't find any.
Yeah, I didn't either. Okay, there's only just the one big motion. All right, I'm going to need a motion to adopt the minutes as presented. Doc.
I move to adopt the minutes as presented.
Thank you. All those in favor? That's unanimous. All right, provincial update. Is Percy giving us that? Hello, you two. Is it just the two of you there?
Jackie's down at the back as well. Just for provincial update, we're still in a period of change with increased learning as the province issues new guidance documents for specific items or businesses, and that's sort of what happened this week with playgrounds that allowed council to make the decision on Tuesday regarding playgrounds. Calgary and Brooks are still remain waiting for phase 1 of the provincial relaunch plan. Last week, Friday, Dr. Hinshaw announced changes in mass gatherings. Outdoor gatherings are now up to 50 people, and indoor gatherings remain 15 people, and all other public health orders remain in place for those gatherings. So the social distancing in that. Currently, there are 65 states of local emergency across the province. 64 of them are for COVID, 1 is for flooding. EOC activations across the province, and EOC stands for Emergency Operation Centers. There is 151 municipal emergency operation centers. There are 4 provincial emergency operations at this point in time. In terms of COVID cases across the province, the current count for the province is 6,735. In the Edmonton zone, there are 521 cases, which is 8% of the provincial total. St. Albert has 29 cases, 1 which is active, and Sturgeon County around us has 13 cases, 1 of which is active. In terms of hospitalizations for COVID, there are currently 58 hospitalizations with 7 ICU. In the province at the current time, there are 970 active cases, and there have been 128 fatalities in the province due to COVID. Testing for COVID, the numbers for COVID testing over this last weekend actually went down in numbers. On the 15th, there were 3,860 tests that were done for COVID. On the 16th, 3,363. The 17th, 2,658. On the 18th, 2,779. The 19th, 2,104. And on the 20th, 1,220. COVID tests across Canada as of this date, as of May 21st, is 1,369,734 people, with a total of 80,544 confirmed COVID cases from those tests. And there in Canada in general, there have been 6,000 and 62 fatalities due to COVID. The government of Alberta announced a position on mandatory vaccines on May 20th. Premier Kenney identified that the Alberta government has no plans to make inoculations mandatory when COVID vaccines become available. Also, another piece of federal note is regarding non-medical masks. Dr. Tam indicated that Canadians should wear a mask as an added layer of protection whenever physical distancing is not possible. And that's the information we have for the provincial update. Do you have any questions?
Thank you for that, Percy. I'm going to start off with a quick question about transit. So is our transit, is the guidelines 50% capacity of the bus plus you have to sit 6 feet apart? Or one or the other?
We'll have to look into.
We'll have to look into that to get specifics for you. We'll
Okay.
get that,
I remember, early on, and we were running them at 50% capacity, but it would be really hard to do
yes,
6 feet apart on a bus. So if I could get that, that would be great.
yes, we'll make sure we get that.
All right. And the one case in St. Albert, I know you probably can't give us any, you probably don't even know yourself any information on that, but it seems to be lingering. And I'm wondering if we even know if it's hospitalized or any details.
Unfortunately, health doesn't provide
Give us that.
details.
That's what I figured. Yeah. Okay. Do we know how they classify somebody as recovered?
Pardon, sorry?
How do they move them from active to recovered?
When they become asymptomatic. And
did they do another test?
They were doing that for a while. They've changed their protocol on that. At the current time, individuals who've tested positive for COVID, after they're asymptomatic, if it's 10 days from onset of symptoms, they're able to return into the workforce.
Yeah. And if they never displayed symptoms, 10 days probably?
Yeah, probably 10 days from that test, I would imagine.
Okay. Natalie, Ken? Go ahead, Natalie.
Thank you. So again, on transit, so the free transit ends at the end of May. Is the recommendation to extend that to kind of keep those touch points down and be able to board the back of the bus, that kind of thing? Or are we looking at an ability to take payments?
We're still developing the plan for that. We'll be bringing an agenda report forward on June 1st. So like we said, we're still working on it at this point.
Okay, so as of June 1st, we're kind of still free transit is.
Well, yeah. So on June 1st, well, whatever, council will either have to extend the free transit or bring fares, some sort of fare schedule back into effect.
Okay, thank you. And my other question, I got a question from a resident about the water play park. So we're allowed to open playgrounds. Do we have an opinion on the water play park? Now, my answer was that, well, that 50-person limit makes it really challenging, but if I could get comments from
we were going to discuss that in the kind of in the emergent portion, but
okay.
In terms of things, our understanding at the current time is recreational facilities are included in phase 3, but we've heard some other information that we'll have to bring offline later.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Councillor Mackay?
Just a really quick one, and maybe it's going to be included in another topic here, but just update on parks. I know the park directly across from where I live was done yesterday. So are they, as they get done, are they coming on, or are you waiting until every park gets, I guess, ready, and then you'll make them available? I'm just kind of curious as to how that process is.
We hadn't done the EOC update yet, so it was going to be included in that little
Okay,
bit of
good.
that portion there for you.
I'll wait.
Okay, yeah, it sounds like you've got items that you want to talk about under specific topics. So why don't we do the EOC update?
Just Mayor
And,
Herron?
oh, sorry, yeah.
No, I'm sorry. I did get a response from transit. So they're running at 50% and they are asking people to maintain the 6 feet of distancing. But of course, families can sit together.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I think when we bring in payment again, whenever that is, I don't think that's really going to help our revenue because of the ridership is just so far down. Yeah. Why don't we do the EOC and then go straight into merchant items, and then we'll let committee ask questions after those two items. Does that sound good? Okay, let's go with the EOC briefing.
So the Emergency Operations Center continues to operate in response to COVID-19 and has been operating now for 69 days. And we continue to operate on the core values of safety of residents and staff, property safety and environmental safety while responding to COVID-19 provincial health orders. The Emergency Operations Center has a liaison that continues to share information and gather information from regional partners and municipal contacts across the province. Planning and preparations continue on the facility reentry strategy and preparations that include health and safety inspections of the sites prior to reentry. Work is ongoing with the province to continue to help gain some of the clarity as what's occurring with the provincial relaunch strategy. Play structures in Line and Rotary Park are now open, and we're open as of 8 a.m. on May 20th. As of 11:40 this morning, actually, 22 playgrounds have been opened. What's happened, to answer Councillor Mackay's question, is that parks, as they're cleaned and open, they're changing the signs afterwards, and they're opening through the day and as need be. And some parks that would be open potentially later. What's happening with those? If they're in a convenient location and in the inspection and the ground cleaning has occurred, they're being opened as well. So those are being opened in as expedient a manner as is possible. The overall plan is to really follow that community parks, neighborhood parks, and the school sites and outdoor fitness. However, like I said, some of those things will be changing there. And I do have a listing of what's open for parks in front of me as of current time. If you want to know those, or individuals could go to the city's website, because those are actually updated on the city's website at the current time, and those will be posted out on social media at 1:20 today, so 13-20 hours. So the very have already been done, so that's already happened.
I've already retweeted it.
Those are out there and that sort of thing. Also, the recovery section of the Emergency Operations Center is excited with about the announcement of the Recovery Task Force and the members of that, and look forward to providing support for the task force. What I'd like to do is put up the public facility reentry plan document again, the one that we saw last week, and you can see there's been some changes there. We've moved over to open, what's open or to be ready to be open. So play structures are in that area now, and they were over on the right-hand side looking for more clarity from Alberta Health Services before. This has also been updated on the city's website as well. So you can see the greens are open or ready to be open, and that oranges color is preparations underway to determine timelines for reentry, and the reddish facilities reentry is on hold to further direction. And this is as said before, this is a very fluid document as we become aware of different changes in that, because there are changes even within the provincial instructions. We're changing that based on the best information we have, and responding to that and providing opportunities. Any questions on that?
How are we doing with Arts and Heritage Foundation?
The recovery and planning are working directly with them on their reentry plan.
And do they have any dates?
I could ask planning if we have a specific date from them.
We don't have a specific date, but we're working, and they're the ones sort of setting the tone in terms of their capacity and what they're ready for. So I'm sure it won't be long.
Okay. All right. I think I saw Ken's hand go up.
Yeah, I did. Just in relation to, I saw that all the city tennis courts are going to be opened up. And you may not have this information. You might have to reach out to Rex. But I got an email this morning from St. Albert Tennis again saying that they're still working through a process of opening, and they're wondering how we can how they're opening up our public ones, but not being able to open up the lease facility that they're in. So I'm just curious as to know. I mean, if it's something to do with the lease, then we can wait and go in camera. But if it's something that can be said as to timing or as to what the delay is, then that might be, I'd be interested in knowing.
I think in camera.
That'd probably be an in-camera discussion.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay.
And just the other question in relation to, as the parks, as the play structures are being cleaned, are the signs being maintained, but they're just changing from closed to open? Just that I just noticed, I didn't walk over and see if the sign is still up, the one that said closed. So I don't know whether it says now open or not.
So what's happening, there's a process where the park is inspected, the grounds are cleaned, and it's a separate crew that comes by and does the sign change. So if the closed sign is still up there, that sign has not, that park's not open at the current time. There is a separate sign that goes up, and it's a sign that discourages the use of the playgrounds. It's got some good visuals associated with hand washing, with social physical distancing. I'm trying to remember all the components of it. There's 4 components with graphics associated with it. So if there's any kind of language barrier, that's not an issue. In terms of things, it also identifies that the playgrounds play structures are not clean.
Okay, yeah, no, they did a fantastic job yesterday. I saw them out there for quite a while, but I didn't go and look at the signs. So,
Really, how long, Ken?
how long? Pardon me?
Yeah.
How long did it take? They were there a good part of 2 hours. They had to do all the edging around, and they cleaned the structures, and then they rototill all the sand and cleaned the sand. And so it took a while. It took a crew of 2, a good 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
Because that's what I'm getting from residents, is they don't understand why it takes so long. So
Yeah, no,
there's 75 playgrounds, 2 hours per playground. Yeah,
it took quite a while, long time.
cool.
I would like to, if possible, put a shout out to Public Works, because they've done a real phenomenal job on getting this open. They have been gone above and beyond. They're working as flat out to get this open as quick as they can. It's the work they're doing is exceptional. Having it at 22 already, they're definitely going to be on par for getting that 37 open and then beyond that as well.
Yeah.
Well,
it
thank you
was-
for pointing that out, Percy. That's good.
Yeah, and just to build on that, I know when we were coming back from the Ray Gibbon Drive ceremonies, the park at Lions already had probably 4 families in it. So pretty amazing, pretty quick, pent up
Yep. People are happy.
demand. Yeah.
Okay, any more questions? And then we're going to move on to emergent items.
No, I'm good.
All right, go ahead. What's emergent? Is this when we want to go in camera? I'm seeing a nod. In your chat, Ken and Natalie, is the motion. Can one of you read it? Go ahead, Ken.
That committee move in camera to have a confidential dialogue in accordance with provisions of section 24(1)A of the Freedom of Information and Protection of Privacy Act.
Okay, call for the vote. All right, let's leave, turn our cameras and mute our things, but stay in this meeting. We'll jump over to Teams. It's like a race to see who can get back here first.
Oh, and Tamara has a motion for us.
Yeah.
I can read that if you'd like.
Okay, I just have a quick question before we do that.
Just have to be conscious of time. Are we
Yeah.
using the Zoom platform
Yeah.
for our next meeting? So we have to,
Yeah, it should be easy.
we might get kicked out of here.
No, we can have multiple Zoom meetings going on at once.
Oh, okay. We're
But
probably
we
live.
we got 10 minutes. We're good. Yeah.
Okay, we're probably live on YouTube. So
Yeah. Just waiting for Kevin and Carrie again. But you know, while we wait, I'll just really ask, is there any changes to our protocol and recommendations for garage sales? I'm pretty sure the website says keep it under 15 people, and that might need to get updated.
So, yeah, no, it would be follow the provincial guidelines and that recommendations for social distancing as and the other information that was there.
Okay.
Set for the 50.
Just maybe check to the website, because I can't remember if it said keep it under 15 people, but that might not be relevant anymore.
They did a environmental scan of those numbers.
Oh, did they?
Check. They did on Friday, so hopefully they've picked it up. We'll go check and confirm.
Awesome, thank you. The garage sailors are anxious. There's Carrie.
So I'm in. Kevin's still having trouble. He's been texting me. So
That's okay. You're the acting city
Yeah.
manager for a moment.
You betcha.
All right. Who wants to make this motion?
Well, I think there's one that we need to do before the pickleball one. So that the details of the in-camera discussion remain confidential pursuant to section 153E of the Municipal Government Act.
All right. Thank you for that, Councillor Jolly. All those in favor? That's unanimous. All right. Where is the motion? On pickleball. David said it would be ready. Is he here?
yeah, he just walked in.
I believe I
Oh,
sent
there we
it to
go.
the chat.
It's just sent to me privately. That's why. I will cut it and paste it into everybody. There you go. Can one of you two read that?
Yeah, I can read it.
Okay.
That all the pickleball courts be open for public use consistent with the operating parameters implemented prior to the COVID-19 related closures.
Happy with that?
Yeah, I think, yeah, I am.
Okay. All right. Any comments on it?
Well, the only comment I'll make in the sense of that is the purpose of this motion is just to, as our EOC has recommended, that we're now in a position to open up our pickleball courts along with our public tennis courts, but it's under the existing parameters as determined by administration in their normal operation.
All right. Anything else? Natalie, you good? Okay. All those in favor? There you go. Pickleballers will be happy. Anything else? Where's the agenda? Seoul. I do not think we require a state of local emergency. Anyone else disagree with me? Seeing nothing. Okay, meeting adjourned. We will see you all at the workshop.